Okay, good morning. We are back home from our walk this morning. The street noise has been super loud today, so apologies if any of you can hear that, but I made a cute little TikTok about my morning. So if you guys haven't seen this already, it's already up on my TikTok. I might repost it to my Instagram stories. I don't know 100% how I feel about reposting stuff from TikTok to Instagram because it drives me crazy when people I follow just repost the same content over and over again. But at the same time, my following is so small on both platforms that I feel like I'm missing out on a large audience, or like the potential to reach a large audience on both of them. So I don't know, but I feel like it turned out cute and it was just like a good little recap of the morning. And then, oh, I wanted to add it to my Belly account. If you guys haven't heard of this app, I found it through my friend Maddie, who is a food blogger in DC. And essentially it's kind of like a social media app, but a little bit, I guess it's just like a ranking app that has a social platform to it. But essentially you can rank all of your favorite restaurants, coffee shops, bars, places like that in whatever city you live in. I feel like that's my #1 question I get asked is what restaurants I recommend, and it really just varies so much depending on like where you're staying in the city, what your budget is, what type of food. Like it's really hard to narrow down a specific recommendation for somebody without any of those filters. The entire point of that being I had forgotten to rank the places that I went today. So you can see I ranked the coffee shop an 8.8 out of 10 and the egg spot a 5.5, which I feel like is pretty accurate. And then again, it just goes into your system of your personal map of rankings. So absolutely obsessed with this. We'll leave it linked down below in case any of you want to check it out. But like I was saying, it is Sunday afternoon now, and to be honest, I feel so behind in every aspect of my life, my like YouTube work, my 9-to-5 work, and I think I just need to sit down and knock out some computer work for the next couple of hours. Okay, I've actually gotten a decent amount done. I have a few more emails I still need to send for some freelance design projects, but I feel like I caught up for all of my like personal emails in regards to like random health insurance stuff or stuff with my car. And then also just got some stuff ready for my 9-to-5 yesterday. I'm not sure if you guys could see in the clips, but I have recently upgraded my mail signature and I feel like it made the biggest difference. But YStamp actually reached out to me a few months ago to work together on a video, and at the time I just didn't have the capacity for any more partnerships, but I ended up saving the email because the concept of the brand just caught my attention. I was cleaning out my inbox the other day and re-saw the email from them, and this is sponsored, but at this point it was unsponsored. Genuinely, their email signature caught my attention because it was so well branded and it looked so clean and professional that I ended up just signing up as a member myself that day, because I feel like that's something that makes such a huge difference in how you're perceived when you're emailing people, whether you own a business or do freelance or you do content creation or you're trying to get approved for an apartment. Like any way that you want to represent yourself, I feel like it just makes such a big difference. So I ended up signing up and reached back out to them, not really expecting them to get back to me because it had been months since they initially emailed me. So I was super excited when they said that they still wanted to work together. So essentially YStamp is the online leading email signature generator, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some B-roll on the screen of me making my signature. But as you can see, it's super easy to create one. You don't need any design background or any coding experience. It basically just drag and drops to create a really professional and clean email signature. And it integrates with essentially any email or app account. But I really do think it makes the biggest difference. And they do have a free option. I think the Pro is a little bit better. It offers a lot more customization and is what I personally am using if you want to replicate my signature. And I do have a discount code for 35% off a Pro plan. So if you're interested, you can use the code Amy35 or use the link down below. There is a limited amount of codes available, so if you guys are interested, definitely check that out. A massive thank you to YStamp for partnering with me on this video. Like I've said for the last 3 minutes, I am the biggest fan, and it's something that I genuinely use and tell my friends to use as well. So super excited to be working with them. In the meantime, I do have a few more of those emails that I wanted to send out, and then I think I'm just gonna take the rest of the night to make dinner, clean up the apartment a little bit, and get ready for the work week. Yeah, good morning. I am almost done getting ready for the day. I mainly wanted to start off this clip as proof that at one point today, my hair does look good. Like, I think this is a pretty acceptable way to go out in public. But I do assume that after I take the bus and walk around a little bit, it just won't look like this. I'm trying not to touch it too much, actually, because I want it to fully set. I used my air wrap today, and I used the like round brush and then touched up a few pieces with the curlers, which I feel like now that my hair is getting a little bit longer again, I'm really liking. Maybe I'll look back at this footage and hate it, which happens to me a lot, but in this exact moment, I'm good with this. So it's Tuesday morning now, and like I said, I'm almost done at getting ready for the day. I need to head out to the office a little bit earlier than usual. It's like 7:15 right now. I'm hoping to head out by 7:30 because I have an 8 a.m. meeting for a freelance client, which I try not to take any freelance type of meetings at work, obviously, but I feel like if it's 8 to 8:30, I'm okay with that because that feels like it's before working hours, in my opinion. Also made a horrific discovery this weekend that I haven't even had a chance to unpack because I needed some time. I think I talked about this on a recent TikTok or maybe in a vlog, I can't really remember, but I've been having a lot of stomach issues lately. I just feel like I've been really swollen and bloating to the point of like being extremely uncomfortable, or people thinking that I'm pregnant in person. Like, somebody held a door for me the other day, and not in like a, oh, you're right behind me type way. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but they clearly thought I was pregnant, which, I mean, obviously not ideal. Initially I thought it was an ovarian problem because I've had cysts growing up and I've been diagnosed with PCOS, so I was like, okay, this has to be it. I have to have this like 5-inch cyst in my stomach that we just haven't discovered yet, because I feel like I see TikToks about that all the time, and obviously I shouldn't be taking medical advice from TikTok, or honestly anything related to any realm of medical advice you should not get from TikTok, maybe. Also, I have this massive mosquito bite on my jawline, which is not covering with foundation at all. I've also been loving the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I just got a sample size on my way out from Sephora because, I don't know, it was one of those things where I like bought stuff from Sephora, but I feel like I didn't buy enough to justify being there, which is not good logic. And I wanted to try it, and I'm obsessed with it. I think this color might be like one shade, I might be able to go one shade lighter, but honestly I feel like it's making me look really tan and glowy. Anywho, I went to my gyno for my checkup, and I was like, I figured it out. I have a cyst. It's really bad. Like, we're gonna need to do surgery. Kidding. My doctor did a bunch of sonograms and blood work, and turns out I am completely fine. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. This was my leading theory. So at that point, I just accepted the fact that it's probably stress related or some food intolerance that I've suspected for a while, but I wasn't sure what it could be. Like, I didn't have a theory on what food I'd be intolerant to. That appointment was last week. This past Saturday morning, I made overnight oats in the morning just because I wanted to have them for the weekend. And I was planning on eating them Sunday morning, but I ended up eating them Saturday night at like midnight just because I randomly got really hungry. And the amount of pain I felt in my stomach after eating those was crazy. My friend Emma actually found out she was intolerant to oat sometime last year, and I was like, oh, that really sucks. Like, I drink oat milk every day, probably twice a day. I eat overnight oats all the time. Like, I'm so sorry to hear that. And meanwhile, in this same discussion, her and I and our other friend are talking about how we're all having stomach issues. And I just, like, not one brain cell is like, hey, maybe you're also intolerant to oat. So I had 2 coffees with oat milk on Sunday to really seal the deal, put it to the test. And that was the day that somebody held a door for me because they thought I was pregnant. So that feels correlated. And honestly, it's starting to make so much sense because I was thinking back to the weekend trip I just took with friends, and I was like, wow, my stomach wasn't bothering me. I'm really grateful. Like, that was something I was really worried about going into that trip because it's been so bad lately that it's just interrupting my everyday life. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to have a good time. Like, I'm not going to want to play games with my friends or like anything like that because I'm in so much pain. And I realized on that trip I only had Dunkin', and my go-to Dunkin' order doesn't have any oat milk in it. And the more I thought about it, the more kept aligning of times that I've felt sick or not sick depending on the coffee that I ordered that morning. And I can't believe I didn't put it together sooner. I definitely want to go get tested from an allergist and like double check that this isn't some weird like placebo or like just coincidence and it's actually, you know, the coffee or, you know, something like that. But I had cow milk yesterday for the first time in a really long time, and it's with a really heavy heart I say I felt fine. Like, my stomach felt completely fine all day. I feel like it's relatively flat, all things considered. Like, obviously I still have like a little bit of swelling by my uterus because I just have a uterus, so that's just always going to be there. But higher point of that clip being, I also wanted to leave for work early on top of leaving early so that I had time to go to Dunkin' because there's a few Starbucks on the way, but there's not really a Dunkin' on the way to my office, and I'm just not in the mood for a Starbucks drink right now. I feel like they're just so different, like vibe-wise. So Dunkin's on the list as well this morning before that 8 o'clock meeting, but I'm gonna go get changed really quick, and then depending on timing, I might show you guys my outfit. Okay, sorry for the quality change. Super quick outfit of the day. I feel like you guys know the disclaimer that this is just my base outfit. I have a blazer and heels on my desk for meetings and when I actually get settled, but for getting from point A to point B, this is usually my base. This bodysuit is from TJ Maxx. It's from the brand House of Harlow. I have been obsessed with their stuff. I feel like it's really thick and nice quality, especially for the price point. And then these trousers are from Abercrombie. I feel like you guys have seen these a bunch. Like I said, I have, well, the blazer's home because I brought it home to wash last week, but once I get to the office and settled, I'll usually throw on a blazer or something to just kind of cover my shoulders. But blazers from H&M, I'll try to leave something similar linked down below. I got it like 2 years ago maybe, so I'm not sure if it's still in stock, but probably not actually, but I'll find something similar. And yeah, that's the fit. It's been a day or two since I've been able to pick up the camera. This week honestly really got away from me in terms of work-life balance. I feel like I just hit the work a little bit harder than I anticipated. Also, I did go and get my hair dyed today. I feel like I can't tell if it's gonna be noticeable on camera. I think it is, but sometimes it's hard to tell until I put it into the computer, especially at night like this when there's not a lot of lighting. But I just went a little bit darker, and we used a more permanent dye this time, I think, instead of just glazes or toners. I go to Hair by Sarah on Instagram with 2 underscores. I'll leave it on the screen. She's the best. I've seen a few different hairstylists since I moved to DC and gotten like estimates and quotes from a few as well, and she is by far my favorite. I feel like she does such a good job and clearly can handle light or dark hair. Like, she got my hair so light and kept it healthy, but also I feel like did a really good job lifting, well, I don't know if lifting's the right term, but like getting all of that bleach out of my hair and getting it back to like my natural color. And she's just the cutest. I'm obsessed with her. I really enjoy going to see her. So if anybody in the DC area needs a hair recommendation, she's in Alexandria. Like I said, I'll have her username on the screen. But really busy work week. It's actually Thursday night now. I don't remember where this clip or this vlog kind of left off. I'm working on uploading some files right now for work because I have a flight tomorrow and I want to work on something on the flight, but to do that I needed to download it from the cloud to save on my actual device, which sounded really simple, but I ended up needing to work with our IT department to like reinstall OneDrive, and it was something that needed to be fixed anyway, but it's just taking so long now. So I have that running in the background, and then I have some laundry going, and I just cleaned the apartment because I'm going on a little weekend trip tomorrow with my boyfriend, and I just haven't done anything. I haven't packed, I haven't cleaned. Well, I just cleaned, I don't know why I said that, but I haven't like deep cleaned. I've like put stuff away, you know what I mean? I need to finish editing this vlog. I'm gonna be honest, McDonald's might be in my future. Leo's about to knock something over. But that's the current update.